Hey, what up? What up? This is Ruby V, and you're listening to the Uncensored Alberto podcast. Keep it locked.
To pay those psychologists and all that.
Yeah.
So I was
expensive.
Expensive is an understatement. Because when I'm like a per session, and the amount is, it does not make sense.
Yeah.
So the one I was given, she does it for free. And then I find out she's a white woman. I'm like, why does a white woman have to come into my country and do these things for free? So she understands and considers our mental health more important than we do.
Than we do, yeah.
Like our government, I'm not even sure to date our government offers free counseling.
So
Apart from
I later found out that Kenyatta, for the age below 26, you can get free sessions, but then you'll have to pay for the meds.
You get, and still, I am pretty sure, since Ume mentioned Kenyatta, getting them when you need them is a problem.
Ask me. Yeah.
Like it should be so simple. Like you get like, there's this song I love. It's about depression, and the name is some hotline number. So it's a number that in the US, if you're depressed or anything, you call that number and you'll be assisted. Like I wish in this country it was that easy. Like I'd pick up my phone and call someone and tell them, me penye niko. You see the way the same thing that happens with HIV.
Yeah.
It's so simple. Those hotlines you'd call for VCT and all that shit, and it would be so simple. Yeah. So I wish it was that same. It was that easy with mental health. Like I just call someone and tell them, Mimi, by the way, state in niko. I don't like it. Again. So I call this lady and she's like, hey, right now it's going to be a problem. If your problem is urgent, you might have to wait a long while. So I'll give you other numbers of other people who can help you. Because she's like, Mimi, I have so many people. And you understand the fact that it's free, everyone runs there.
Yeah.
So it got me thinking, like, actually, a lot of people go through this stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I started getting engrossed in it.
So, basically from your whole journey to up to now, what are some of the misconceptions that you've had about mental health?
Kurogwa.
You recall what we're doing?
Especially since the African culture, and Kurogwa is, as long as human beings can explain something, they automatically turn it into black magic, white magic, all that voodoo shit.
Yeah.
So I think it's as it is someone behaving it. You see, like someone being bipolar.
Yeah.
I had a friend who was, I think that chick was bipolar. Like it wasn't clinically proven, but I think she was bipolar. Because one moment when I met her, she was the nicest person I have ever met in my life. You know, one of those people that go through thick and thin for you.
Yeah.
And then the first time I saw her snap, I was like, what the fuck? What is happening? You know, all of a sudden, mzee amekuwa kitu ingine, you're like, okay, Jesus, what is happening?
Yeah.
So if you don't understand bipolar, and now I was telling some of my friends about the story. I was like, wait, tulikuwa hivi alafu hivi ka happen. They're like, ai, uko sure udema kwa sawa. Ai udema angalia wacha mazee, udema merogwa. You get like it's already, someone is already jumping on
some fucked up conclusions.
Yeah. So it's when human beings can explain something, they decide and make it a power that they cannot understand. You get like they turn it into a power that they don't understand, that is above everything else. And it's most of these things are actually treatable. Not exactly treatable, but most of these things that pertain in mental health, because I think mentally it's how you perceive things, and when you look at the human brain, from the age of 0 to a certain point in teenage, it's so easy to change your mind. But then after that, ni kama sasa mtu akuja kuambia wewe si Mwafrika.
How are you going to say?
And again, like all your life you've known you're African. All your life you've known melanin African, full stop. So for someone else to come and convince you that you're not, ni ngumu. But ukakuwa mtoi msana za kuchota, wewe ni light skin ndo kwamba wewe ni mzungu na uamini wewe ni mzungu. So the human brain ikifika point fulani, it's too hard to change it. To get to understand what exactly is happening to you. So that's why it's very difficult. I think that's why most places unapata they offer free counseling to a certain age. Because unajua hii age we can actually do this. After a certain age you're like, ay hapana.
It's hard.
It's hard. It's almost impossible to do. It's the same thing that comes up with as human beings. I think we need to accept, because I think the first step to change is acceptance. And if I don't accept I have a problem, there's no way I can be helped.
Yeah.
Because unazambia mtu, but then you have a problem here and here. As long as they don't accept it, they won't see the problem and they won't be willing to change.
Yeah.
So I think it's high time, be it in the African society, be it in whichever society, as human beings, because me, I don't even believe in societies. I don't even believe in, ethnicity and race and all that bullshit. Because at the end of the day, I'm like, saizi nikieka akili mbili hapa kwa meza, you won't be able to tell which one is white and which one is black. All that matters is what is in that brain.
Yeah.
So I think as human beings, we should be at a position to understand that we all have struggles, we all go through different shit, and we should accept each other for that. Because I think the problem we have with mental health mostly, it's probably what someone is going through is not something that will put them down, but it's the way that the society and people around them bring it up. It becomes a whole fuss.
Yeah.
It becomes a whole problem.
Yeah.
So I think if we accepted each other and stopped judging each other for what we think is right and what we think is wrong, we wouldn't be having a problem. Because like today in the morning I was watching some video about some chick who's Muslim and she's dating this guy who's, I'm not sure what religion he is, but he wasn't Muslim.
Yeah.
So she's talking about she's having a problem telling the parents that she's dating this guy. Just because this guy he's not Muslim.
No.
So yeah, there's this stigma she's going through a lot and she's getting messed up just because she's pretty sure her parents are not going to accept this guy just because of. Yeah. And that's why I look like, see you segment life in, this is we, this is you, this is these other people.
Yeah.
So we judge each other in that sense. Because we do stress was any judgment.
Yeah. Being a judgment.
Judgment, me wanna by them, me wanna.
The last time I had a conversation with Ruby, he was saying the reason why most people don't come out is because ama atakwambia shida yake is because anaogopa what you'll end up saying itakuwa more hurtful than the position they were in.
Yeah. Let's look at sensitive. I don't think it's sensitive anymore, and I hope we'll stop using sensitive and the narrative in one statement. Yeah. Let's talk about gays, particularly in Kenya.
Wow.
Like right now, we are seeing a lot of, people were saying, I was having a conversation with some people and they were like, gayism it has increased in Kenya and it's because we are accepting it. So it's become a big deal. People are just coming out being gay just for the sake of it. I'm like, no. Right now we're in a society where at least people are accepting it, where people are looking at gay people as normal human beings. People, Back then you didn't hear a lot of it, not because they didn't exist, not because there are few, just because they were so scared to come out because the society is so judgmental and so harsh on them. We're at a point where if I come out right now that I'm gay, a lot of people will not accept me, but a lot of people will accept me. So I'm at a point where anajua, if I turn out to be gay and say I'm gay right now, at least kuna wasa watakuwa for me. Look at it back then, like 80s, 90s, early 2000s. Hebu tell someone you're gay, where?
Ungeuliwa.
Kwanza unaombea, unapeleka kanisa uombee.
Wacha nilete religion, There's a religion where if you are gay, you end up being either killed or something. Equal. And I remember I was having this conversation to switch conversation. I remember me having a conversation also on this pod with someone, and I was telling them that if you're gay you can hang around me, but don't do the fucked up shit that I know that you do around me. As if you go around me just like normal or something. But then they were like, no, you shouldn't even hang out with them. So I was like, oh yeah, sour. So that's how society is, baby.
And una get like kuna wase wengi sana they've gone through hell just because they've identified to be gay and society didn't accept. Right now we have a lot of gay people who are very happy just because I don't even think we should refer to people as gay people, but anyway, the people who are so totally okay with it, they're happy right now just because society accepts them. Back then society didn't accept them, so it's very difficult going through life when people don't accept who you want to be and who you perceive yourself to be. And I think that's basically the basis of mental health. Because I think if we're living in a society that accepted everyone for how they are and what they choose to be, we wouldn't be having a lot of these issues. Because why do a lot of people commit suicide? Because they can't live another day being in their skin when people around them don't accept them for that. The moment people get accepted, but it stops being a problem. Growing up, I'm so used to being the darkest person in the room. Like most of my life, I've always been the darkest person in the room. And when I was a kid, it used to get to me because I used to be dissed a lot, and unatsongolea unasikia kile time tukiwa watu wenye mchongwano was the thing. Like every single time mchongwano zilikuwa zinakuja towards me ni zile wewe ni mweusi hadi. It gets so
predictable.
So it got to a point I was not comfortable in my skin. I was not comfortable being dark. I was, as in at no point was msiange bring up a story of black maze I used to be, get disoriented. And imagine I was just a kid. So at least growing up nikafika point in here. Actually the first time I was like, maybe being dark is not that bad. One of the hottest chicks in school was into me, and she was like, I like your skin color and all. I was like, the fuck? Someone can actually like the skin color, you get? So
when somebody else...
at that point I was like, maybe it's not that bad. You get? So it's at the end of the day, inakuzaga like, however much you can decide to be on your own and take no one's opinion, but at the end of the day, people's opinion actually matter. The people who matter, their opinions actually matter.
So let me ask this question. How do you... Okay, so at what point when somebody is going through depression, at what point do you think they should come out or they should see someone? Basically, the solution to depression is you speaking. It kind of kills that nisemaje, inapunguza makali yake somehow. So how, at what point do you think ukiona hizi red flags you know you're supposed to talk to someone?
I think step ya kwanza inakuga, how do you know you're depressed?
Which
ndio shida, because me wana shida mob yenye sikuwa nayo is a lot of people don't know they're depressed.
Because I actually told you, me nikienda say thought I was okay, but then later on I found out that I had your depression imefika to the high level, to the point where I'm supposed to be admitted in an hospital and ikakata. So me accepting that also ati kuna depression is also an issue.
Shida sasa atujuagi tuko depressed. Mtu anani kama maisha ni ngumu tu, full stop. Because basically me hapo ndo penye mimi kasirika na 844. Like mimi una kitu ka depression inafaa kufunzwa 844. Like you're supposed to be taught at a tender age that when you feel like this, when you go through this, when this happens and that happens, you should seek help. Or you should know things are getting, because most times we have to realize we're in depression ikikuwa sasa excess. The time that I accepted and came to the conclusion that yes, I am depressed was after I have gone through a lot. I have felt too much, so ikafika point I'm like, hey, is this even normal? Like you have to wait you have to wait till the point to get too much to actually realize that I need help. So because I think if we get help earlier on, if you actually realize that I am at a bad place, it's easier to get help before it gets too much. Because if you look at, let me just Google the meaning of depression. And we know what exactly depression. Because tunaongea hivi, and someone who's listening has no idea what depression is. They just know it's just that thing that people go through is stress too. Because still kuna stress zenye si depression.
But some of the as we go on, some of the red flags that I saw is the moods when the moods change, keep on changing. Uko so quick to react. Actually, that was the very first sign, and then basically, especially for me, it was so hard to know because I'm not that social guy. So imagine I'm not that social, and then it comes to now even the part of depression, because most people who are depressed are not that social. Wanataka kujitenga.
Yeah.
So to the point where you notice that I'm not social enough also makes sense, but I don't know. Me, that part of socialism,
because particularly for introverted people, kujua mzee kwa depressed ni ngumu, because naturally waongeagi na watu, naturally they're not out there, they're not social. So unajua mzee social, mzee bubbly, mzee anaongeaga na kila mzee, akita kuongea na watu tunanuliza by the kuna shida. But mtu anaongeagi na watu tunajua.
Exactly.
So according to Google, let's see, it's written clinical depression, also called major depression. A mental health disorder characterized by persistently depressed mood or loss of interest in activities, causing significant impairment in daily life. Possible causes include a combination of biological, psychological, and social sources of distress. Increasingly, research suggests that these factors may change in brain function, including altered activity of certain neural circuits in the brain.
Wow.
So basically, when someone's daily activities change,
you should seek for medical attention, of course.
Mostly, I'm not. This is a topic for another day. I am not for medical and pharmaceutical and all that stuff. Anyway, story for another day. But at times I don't think it has to go through all those medical issues and all that. I think it's all about, keep saying this phrase, garbage in, garbage out. It's what you feed yourself. Whatever it is you feed yourself is what is going to come out. Your brain processes whatever it is you give it and brings it out and makes it a reality. So I think when it gets to a point where you feel like, you umeboeka tu. Because me, I think that the point that I was depressed, I didn't find anything interesting. Zile zilizokubamba hazikubambi anymore. You get like let's say you're into some certain kind of music, and then all of a sudden it doesn't make sense. It's not fun, it doesn't speak to you, it doesn't do this, it doesn't do that. I think that's the point you need to start questioning and asking yourself what is happening, and maybe seeking, like you said, medical help, because it's these people who can tell you uko sawa ama uko sawa, whether you're getting into it or you're not, whether you're in too deep or you're not. I think we should just be sensitive with, and since I'm from experience, the people I've known and myself, knowing that you're actually depressed or you're getting into depression is really difficult. And in that case, that's why I keep telling people, maybe we should be keen with the people around us. Ukiona maze pattern ya umse imechange, angalia venye yuko and you see, hey, this person they don't look like the way they normally are. It's easy to go to them and tell them, I'm seeing you doing this and that, or this and that is happening. Because the problem with the brain is, the brain tries to shield you from whatever pain or source of distress that you're having. So I think that's, in the same case, people don't mostly realize they're having a problem. So it's up to you as a human being to look at the person next to you, your loved one, your friend, your colleague, anyone. Ukiona msee mazee ameanza kuwa some type of way, muulize tu mazee nini mbaya. Maybe that just start talking to someone will get them to a point where, me, I've asked people before, uko sawa? And then they splatter all these issues they're having and they're like, ay.
Yes.
Iko big evil.
But mostly tumekuwa sijui to most people unaendanga unauliza, or when you're texting someone you're like uko sawa, and then they tell you niko sawa. Uko sawa, niko sawa. As in, I hate that perception. Nataka uniambie into the details ndani as in how you are. Nikikuuliza uko sawa, nataka nijue deep down kama uko fit. Deep down, mimi sitaki kujua hapa juu. I want to know in.
But on the way, as a person, you need to create an environment where people know ukiuliza uko sawa, they can open up to you. Because kuna sasa ukiuliza uko sawa, koleka tu nikimwambia sasa what difference will it make? So you should create an environment where wase wanajua msee nikimwambia na go through hii ndakuwa sawa. Kuna msee aliniambia, it was after a whole fight and quarrel, akaniambia, at times when I come to you and tell you stuff, I don't want you to fix my issues. I just need someone to listen to me. I just need someone to talk to. So I feel pia sisi tunafaa kuwa accommodating enough for someone to be open enough to tell you what they're going through. So they don't feel judged. They don't feel like unawaonea ama you're trying to fix their problems and all that stuff. Like to create tu ile rapport so that people can know, nikitaka nikigo through something naweza enda niongea na nani. Nikiongea na yeye mimi nitakuwa sawa. because the problem of society is ndakuja nikwambie sasa nikwambie hey Benzo mimi niko na issues mimi nimefanya hii na hii imenihapenia or last night I did this and that, and then the next thing unasikia kila mzee anajua story, kila mzee anaongelea hiyo story, and no one wants their business out there. So I think as human beings pia tunafaa kwa ile point yenye we are accommodating enough to know someone can confide in you na kila kitu itakuwa sawa. People won't know about it because kuna vitu zetu hapenia and we don't want everyone knowing our business. Nobody wants everyone knowing their business.
So basically kwa sababu unaona ni kama umecover everything, basically ni kama umecover everything. Just the final words that you can say to someone out there who is either depressed or they know someone who is depressed or in that type of environment, what should you tell them?
Okay. In a nutshell, so in the point na kuga na shida, I don't know what I'd say that is right. Can you just speak to me say?
But there's some things that Giam say, at least they will be as in ni kama kuambia msi next time ukiona hivi kitu kama hiyo.
Don't shy out. Don't feel like you're alone. You're never alone. We got this. Life goes on. And life is fucked up.
And also something else that somebody told me, always they remind me this: consider your head as any other part of your body. Ukiona tumbo sahi utakimbia sahi usi.
True.
Uende utafute med. So just mind that head. When you feel anything, you just have to tell someone. You just have to, as in, take care of that body, take care of that brain.
And you know the weird thing is, we're talking about the rest of the body. The mind controls every other part of the body.
Exactly.
So if you don't take care of that mind, so the rest of your body is not going to be okay.
Fact. That's the point she was telling me.
So it's, we are in this together. We are all here. We all go through stuff, and the only way we can get through this is by being there for each other. I ran this. Should they call it run? Okay. A couple of friends and me came together, and for the last couple of months, actually it's almost a year. Tangu COVID. We've been, we come together, cook, we collect money, cook. Mostly in one. Okay, so we pick a chapo kila time. So ni stew you change. Chapo beans, chapo green grams and all that stuff. And we walk around Tao to keep enough food kwa street kids.
Nice.
And the slogan has always been, we need each other. Let's be there for each other. It's always been that.
Nice.
We need each other. Let's be there for each other. The moment we put that into practice, being there for each other, mi sioni mse atakuwa depressed. Because tutakuwa hapo and we will push someone and help someone through whatever. So I'm just going to keep to that phrase. We need each other. Let's be there for each other.
Sawa. So thank you so much for coming down to this interview. Actually, I know it was a one call away. But this was the quote-unquote easiest interview moipata. Paul, it's not a disrespect.
No. I actually appreciate it because the moment nilisikia it's about mental health. It's someone once told me, you might be speaking to 10 people, but you have no idea what you're going to say or what's going to impact that one person. So to me, it's as long as this interview, this podcast, this one session, this one episode speaks to even a single soul and makes one person better, I am happy. I feel like make milestone ingine big sana.
Kuna mse alikuwa ananiambia, if you just speak to, I don't know even umeenda sana na with sijui tena just one person, just one person. If you make that impact on one person, that is more than enough. When that person feels they're very comfortable in sharing what they're doing, that is more than an achievement. That's why with somebody like Ruby, with me, actually the other day with Sikujisifu, but with the other day when they were celebrating the Women's Day, and she was like, if there's anyone I'm going to celebrate in this radio life, is you, is me now. because I actually made her feel like she did an impact on someone. Whatever she's doing on the radio has an impact on someone. Because I came out because of that radio. I came out because, and she felt that impact. So
that's more than enough.
That's more than enough as well. So if you're listening to this conversation and maybe we've touched something in your life, tuambie tu pia, si ndio?
True.
Yeah.
Kuna comments.
Yeah.
And I think actually not even I think nimekuwa na issue ya procrastinate and wanting to do things but not getting to do them because of one reason or another.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking this is something I personally wanted to do, and I think from today we're going to do it.
Yeah.
It's have a number, have a platform where anyone who's feeling depressed or feeling down or having whatever issue, they can call that number. They can talk to someone. They can, just be free and be open to it. If you don't have anyone, because I realize a lot of people don't have people they can talk to. So I think we should create a platform where anyone who doesn't have anyone to talk to or anyone to make them feel like it's okay, you'll be fine. I think we should be able to do that. So I think we should come up with a hotline, a number, whatever. We'll take a podcast, take a comments and whatever, social media and all that. So anyone on this planet who feels like they're having shit, tell them, sisi ni latrine. Hiyo shit yako tutaitake.
So nice initiative by the way. Sijawahi fikiria in that sense, but ilikuwa nafikiria in the sense of media, but nimefanya hiyo stuff in the sense of media, but nice you knowing that kuna number. So that's a nice initiative. So that's it. Thank you so much for joining this podcast.
Anytime.
Surely we'll do more. Ni venye tu time imekata. We had a lot. I mean a lot.
We can hii inaweza kwa episode 1 kuna episode 2
actually with this kwa sababu it's 48 minutes around there na ikatanisha mara mbili because of the music. So there's a part 1 and then a part 2. So tutafanya hivyo part 1, part 2 and then so we'll release them actually in the same week. One episode because we are recording on a Wednesday, so one episode is gonna come out on a Saturday, and then the next one maybe on a Monday or Tuesday, something like this. So that's it. Thank you so much, and it was all a pleasure. I think for the first time people have not heard my story. For the second time people have not heard my story. Now it's somebody else's story, and you're most welcome to this podcast anytime. Ukijisikia you want to share something, hala, this podcast is available to you.
Thank you so much. I actually feel lighter for speaking out some of these things. So I appreciate it. Share your socials. Maybe if anyone wants to talk to you, maybe ameona hizo wisdom because so much anataka kupanga na wewe directly. So but this social media yangu. Instagram. I guess Instagram depende. Most people in this age wako.
This niliona kuna zillennials ama ni kitu kama hiyo.
Zillennials ni generation Z. So my Instagram is _forbidden_fruit. So it's basically a forbidden fruit. Forbidden with a deputy. My Facebook is, what is my Facebook? When is the last time we even lost? Anyway, my Facebook is Ouko. It's Ouko_Ojwang. Do I have any other socials? No, I think basically that's Twitter. Twitter, it's still the same as Instagram, _forbidden fruit.
Yeah. Maybe I'm selfish, maybe I'm self-centered. Maybe I say that I'm okay, but I'm just never. Maybe I say a bunch of things, I'm the best at it. Maybe I'm broken inside, I'm letting the stress get me. And maybe you see it, and maybe you're dealing with a lot of shit as well. And feeling as you're feeling, and here the fuck I'm judging you, and we're just both in it. Damn. Matter of fact, who isn't? Feel like I'm procrastinating a lot. Feel like I'm waiting, like we lost communication and just be out here taking each other for granted. Oh man, I hate the situation, it's taking us back there. I think we're playing all these games, it's even impractical. Being the same, but who's to blame? Shit never intended. It's lame how we moving dams, are painting our asses, and it's taking the chance to be better companions. Would you come my way tonight? Here we are again, dancing through the fire, trying to hold it together within. Maybe you and I could come outside and live the moment. Just let it flow, babe. Just let it go, babe. So maybe I'm just dealing with a lot of pressure. Think about my trauma and the healing took a ton of effort. Think about my mama and I feel like I'm just kinda stressing a little bit more than I really should. I'm probably vexed by damn, how I'm handling my shit. I'm hanging in there, I'm getting by, I'm battling, I quit. Do I take it from here? I'm terrified, I'm settling for bits. And it's facts that I'm just better than I think. This is temporary, cause when times are hard, it's always easy to forget that. Learning how to stay breathing through the setback, it's so necessary. Yeah, and honestly, I get that this part of the journey, this is jet lag. Yo, sometimes I'm feeling alone, even when you're here. Hope that you forgive me, I just only wanna make amends. See, baby, I understand that you only human. Shit really get out of hand, there's so much we could deal with. My love, my love, my love, my love, oh, better. My love, my love, my love, my love, oh, we can do better. Would you come my way tonight? Here we are again. Trying to hold it together within. Maybe you and I could come outside and live the moment. Oh, just let it flow, babe. Let it flow, babe. Just let it go, babe. Let it go, babe.
That is Moment by Ecstatic, playing for you right here on the Uncensored Alberto podcast. And I'm just hoping that you are from wherever you're listening me from. Listen, we give you nothing but the best of Kenyan hip-hop culture and mental health conversations. You know we're the hotspot for that. And I want you to represent your hood from where you're listening me from. And the only way you can do that is by you coming to over the socials. That's the Uncensored Alberto podcast. Again, the hashtag to use is the Uncensored Alberto Temo. Go and tell me how you're feeling. And while you're at it, listen, I'm just hoping that you have learned something from this particular conversation. It was a continuation of the conversation that we had earlier with Derek. And that conversation was so long, it was around 48 minutes or something, so I had to break it down into two. And that conversation was so dope and it was so deep. Like, listen, me just editing this particular episode, I've done it like over and over and over and over again, as in me listening to it together with the producer before I record, because what I do is I listen to the conversation then record, so that I get into the moment. And I feel like I've gotten into that moment to the point where it has left me with some heavy scars. And I'm just hoping that you have really, really learned something. And if you have done that, make sure you highlight us. That's at the Uncensored Alberto podcast. Tell us what you've learned. I think it would be so impactful, and it will be so it will be so impactful to also to us, because I want to do this more and more and more. Because listen, this particular time, for example, most of these guys or you guys will be at home because of Corona. I know most of the people have been paused, quote unquote, from work. They've been told to work at home, and that environment alone makes you think something else. So I know how it's heavy, and I feel it's high time that this conversation is gonna be sparked up and be impactful to you guys. So I will do a lot of this, of course, because for example, when Ecstatic released the Moment record, it was from an EP or a mixtape. I can't remember the name of the mixtape itself, but she was going through some mental ish, and it reached a point where she had to push the dates of releasing, and with that she did put out her thoughts onto that particular tape. And if you haven't listened to that tape, make sure you go and check it out. Go listen to it. I think it will do you justice, for sure. You will learn a lot about mental health, as much as I'm trying to make you learn about that on this particular episode or this particular podcast, right? So I just wanted to do an interview with Ecstatic. I know I did hit her up, but listen, when that conversation happens, I'll tell you. But this particular year, I want to do a lot of the conversations. I want to do a lot of interviews. Like, for example, right now I was talking to my producer, and I was thinking somebody like Mbivi should be on this particular podcast. That is something that I think that we should be doing very, very soon. So I don't know if you are ready for this as we are, because listen, we are so pumped up. I think we're so pumped up for everything that is going to be dropped. Listen, fam, and I'm so sorry that I am so mellow. It's because of the conversation, me listening to it over and over and over. So you know the impact that it has on me, considering what I've been through. Yeah, so that's what's up. Listen, today it's on the 1st of April, and it's Fool's Day, of course. And one of the guys who I really think he pranked us is Jokali. We all know Jokali. Jokali has been this dope artist. He was like a pioneer or a game changer of the Kenyan hip-hop scene. And he woke up this particular morning on the 1st of April and went to the social media platforms and was like, you know what, guys, I'm really retiring from music industry. And I want to know this, guys, from your opinion. Do you think this guy is pranking us for real? Or he is retiring from the game for well? I don't know. But I'm just hoping that this was a prank. Because listen, we can't lose another one. We just can't lose another one. I don't feel it's the highest time that he does this. I don't know. Listen, I want your opinions on this particular subject. How do you feel about it? And the only way you can do that, of course, it's on the socials at the Uncensored Alberto Podcast. The hashtag to use, the Uncensored Alberto. Right? So there's a new record that is out here, and this is from Alex Vice featuring Jovi Jove, Denzel Kong, Dana Chords, and Truly. And this particular record is heavy. Let me say that it's heavy, and I feel like any record that Dana Chords is on and that instrumental is from Alex Vice, it's something else. I don't know if it's me who is feeling this alone, but this record for sure it's heavy, and it will be so unfair for me not to play for you. So the record is called Niko Kejani. It's by Alex Vice featuring Jovi Jove, Denzel Kong, Dana Chords, and Truly. So I want you to take a listen to it. Tell me how you feel about it. And while you're at it, it's the highest time, the worst time that I hate, me saying goodbye. But for me and my producer and the whole stakeholders of the Uncensored Alberto Podcast, we want to say goodbye until episode number 38. But until then, we love you. To the people that know themselves, to the rest, I see we check yana the next time. So Alex Vice, Jovi Jove, Denzel Kong, Dana Codes Truly with Nico Kejani coming up next. So don't go anywhere. This is the Uncensored Alberto Podcast. And remember to subscribe, yeah. Cheers, man.
Alex Vice.
Rada ni safi, geri ni safi, tena hakuna za zogo.
Niko Kejani, chilla my bro. Bara ni safi, bara ni so. Hakuna traffic, stashi na ko. Toko na manji, takule yolo. Sali ni seti, mkula jometi. Mchapi ya keti, mkule yo head. Anajiita pedi. Tendo zanga my head, analipa my feed. Shoot, Daniel shit.
Tulibamba tukimedi, nyini mavijana wakina nani. Mzee alideati lately, maybe chulini na mashetani. Rada ni soka, uliacha kwenda kanisani. Kijana umekuwa kichwa, naingia mtani. Nikiwa maji kuliko dasani, but sijai chomanga picha. Kijana mambichwa, miwanga form na mabandi. Kwani one kikoreli andikwa ni stash kwa OD. Mabro alishikwa na wakiwa moshi. OGs jai kwa OD. Nishai ball, Kobe. Nishai kuanga down, Buddha. Nilidai ku OD. Stu natoka na bangers. Vice, Truly na Jovi. Dota rudi na mambanga. Tuna kuchoma na mbogi. Kuchafua hali ya anga.
Niko Kejani, chilla my bro. Bara ni safi, bara ni so. Hakuna traffic, stashi na ko. Toko na manji, takule yolo. Sali ni seti, mkula jometi. Mchapi ya keti, mkule yo head. Anajiita pedi, tendo zanga my head. Analipa my feed. Shoot, Daniel shit.
Yeah, then give me the mic. Bad bitch, yeah, you know that I'm doing it right.
Alex Vice.
Bad bitch, damn, you know that I live in asylum. Yeah, I give a real nigga more life. I hit him up, told him let's ride. Wana de codes mo speed jumu kuja na jipini siwezi kuramba siako za kuja na mabling te boss mo skim jumu kuja na majing na mwachanya nye jegi so of course ata clean kuja kasanta na kubush Merry Christmas after that na kushanda gift ni mahunters na kutingisha rasa after that na kuibia karat
kumbe ni kuch mazena medi Kahoots na ama fedi walimfush ndivalidedi maniga gooks alinisave yenda aliniingiza ndani ya jeshi yenda alinifundisha story ya hes vile alish akinash ndani yash wakiwash nimezeo cat hey zili arrest ningeuka kivet vile mabitch na wakares nilitwa patel leo biz na manage ndeki patek ni vile na kill ndani ya stage niko kejani chilla mabro para ni safi para ni so hakuna traffic sashi na po koko na manji takule olo sali ni seti mkula jometi mchapi ya keti kuleo head anajiita paid tena uzanga mahedi analipa mafedi shifu ndani ya shade
Can't get enough of this conversation. Join me next time right here on the Uncensored Alberto podcast. Peace out.
Campaign, bitches, cars, champagne, head out the roof screaming money ain't a thing, 2020 ain't a thing.